Lo and behold, look who popped up. You, in their cell phone video, driving a car, running over people. This guy's such an idiot. Every time I watch these, I'm like, fascinated how
stupid he is. That he actually thinks he sounds intelligent.
Yes.
He's so stupid. You want to do the intro? Or you want me to do it?
You can.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
We're happy to be back. Sorry it's been so long since we've recorded.
Yeah.
Well, together.
Real life got in the way, but we're going to try to record some more. Thank you so much for all the previous likes and subscribes, and that's crazy. We did not expect that, and we really appreciate it. And today, we are going to watch some more Darrell Brooks. He's going to cross-examine Officer Bryce, the guy that shot at him. I believe this was on day 8? 7 or 8. I'm not positive. But let's go.
Right. Any questions for this witness, sir?
I do. You stated initially that you had heard.
He was tied. He didn't even like
some radio calls
sticking out of the bottom of it.
You tuck it in.
Possible
I know.
Altercation at Frame Park.
Oh, pull his jacket down.
Or button the bottom button.
Do you recall what the initial report of that was?
My recollection of that was that there was a call for service. It was either a domestic or some sort of physical altercation along the riverfront in Frame Park, and that there was a male with armed with a knife, and that he was fleeing from the area.
So it was reported it was a possible knife involved, and there was a male running from the scene?
That's correct.
Like Nick Ricada.
And were you ever given any further information about the male with the knife that was running from the scene?
No.
Nick Ricada said, this guy looks like he ate an entire bison before he came to court. Bison or buffalo or something. He's like, look at this guy. He looks like he ate an entire bison before he came to court.
Why?
I don't know. He just looks like a lumberjack or something.
Okay.
Like a lot of people, they call him the Ginger Viking.
Oh.
Because he looks like a Viking.
Any information that the male with a knife running from the scene was in a vehicle at any time?
No.
Do you know if any investigation was done looking into that supposed fight at the park?
Yes.
And what did you learn?
I did not learn anything of it. I just know that squads were responding there to investigate it. I wasn't updated on their findings or what they had investigated.
Yeah, I didn't learn anything.
Dispatched there for that investigation.
I just know that they
Do
went.
you recall if there was ever a knife recovered or a suspect recovered in that supposed incident?
Compound question. That's 2 questions. A knife or a suspect?
Do you mean like how much later do I know? Like what I know now?
At any time.
Yeah.
Do you know
He loves doing that. At any time.
if there was a suspect, I guess I would say, apprehended or anything that was found with a knife, to your knowledge?
What does that have to do
To
with
my
anything?
knowledge, I do not know if the suspect from that incident, which was
was
you, was located
You
with a
say
knife.
you, what do you mean?
You, Darrell Brooks.
You.
I know you were the suspect in that incident,
Hang on.
and I know you were taken into custody approximately 30 to 40 minutes later. I do not know if you were armed when you were taken into custody.
I'll let the
What does the knife have to do with anything?
Yeah.
He is
This
throwing...
is not referring to the earlier incident with Erica, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's referring to the incident with Erica at Frame Park, and then when they fought in front of the school. And Nicholas Kirby called in, and he called the police, and then he stopped the cop, and he said, I was just in an altercation with a knife a few days ago, and now my friend's in trouble, and you guys need to have backup here, or whatever. And they misunderstood him to say, or to think that he said that Darrell had a knife, or somebody had a knife. And so now Darrell's trying to seize on that nobody was found with a knife, there was no knife found, I don't know. I have no idea what he's talking about. He's just throwing spaghetti at the wall, babe.
No knife was found, but...
No.
Okay.
No knife was found.
Yeah, but
the initial reports were that there was a man with a knife. And so since the initial report said there was a man with a knife, Darrell is trying to use that.
Like he wasn't there. Or
Yeah,
wasn't
like, oh, it wasn't me. It was somebody else.
Yeah.
It was the man with the knife or something like that. That's what he's trying to do. It's not going to work, obviously, because he got all the years. But that's what he's trying to do.
The record reflect that I do not identify by that name, nor do I know any individual by that name. I'm here in third party.
I'm sorry, I have to say this, because I tell her this all the time. But if I'm in court and somebody says, I know that Joe Blow was apprehended, I'm not going to say, excuse me, I don't identify by that name, nor do I know anybody by that name, because I'm not going to recognize that name. I don't know who Joe Blow is. I'm just going to sit silently, like, who are they talking about? I might object and say, objection, who are they talking about? I don't know who Joe Blow is. But anytime somebody says Darrell Brooks, Mr. Brooks, whatever, he immediately, objection, I don't consent to that name, and I don't know anybody by that name. Like, what? What are you talking about? And also, his third party crap, I'm here in the third party. Okay, but then he says, who's the plaintiff? Who's the plaintiff? The state is the plaintiff. Well, do you see the state? Here in the courtroom? Yes, they're represented right there by the DA. Oh, represented by? Yeah, you're representing your client. Why can't they represent the state? No, stupid sovereign citizen, ignorant arguments make no
Well, he
sense.
didn't win those.
Records noted, although the
No,
board will
he didn't.
disregard the comments, they are
Keep
not
saying-
evidence in this case. Next question, please.
At the time, you said, did you respond to that incident at the park?
No.
No.
So how can you know who was involved with it if you didn't respond yourself?
Cops
Because you
talk.
stated at any time, this investigation took a long time to complete. And from this investigation, we determined that you were the suspect in that
You
investigation.
determined that?
I did not, no.
I did not.
Okay.
Like, no, not me. We. The police did. Backwards mask
Trying
again.
to find a loophole or something.
Yeah, he's trying to find anything.
So basically, you're just going off what you were told. Because you just stated that you didn't make any determination, nor did you investigate it. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
And he thinks if you were told something, it doesn't count as evidence.
Yeah.
If you were told it, you don't know it for sure. Therefore, it doesn't count.
You also gave, when you were asked the question of, were there any other officers along the route, or I don't know if that was referring to side exits or anything of that nature, but I recall you stating that you gave an estimate, stating that you weren't sure where other officers were stationed, but you gave an approximate estimate. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And would that have been officers stationed at different cross streets?
That is correct.
Do you know if those cross streets were barricaded?
I know that there were barricades across numerous intersections for the parade route. That's how we shut down traffic in the downtown area for parades.
So pretty much every side street is barricaded.
I can't give you specifics on what streets were barricaded, but yes, the vast majority of streets are barricaded to stop traffic for the parade route.
Can you pull up Exhibit 1 and publish?
He's gonna show all the streets that were barricaded and said there was no way to get through.
Yeah,
As if
that's
running
Yeah.
over the barricade and running over people.
Yeah, that's the excuse he's trying to make, is that it was all barricaded and there were law enforcement, so there was no way to get off the parade route. Even though he drove through a barricade to get on the parade route, and then he drove through another one to get off the parade route. But when he was driving on the parade route, there is no way to get through those plastic barricades, so he had to run over upwards of 60 people.
Yeah. That was only his only way around or out.
Yeah. They bring up exhibits for him, they served his subpoenas, they contacted his witnesses, and still it's not fair. It's not fair to him.
Yeah.
They don't have to do any of that.
Yes.
That's where he shot at
So it would
him.
be
That's
fair
where he
to say
ran
that
through the
there's pretty
barricade.
much barriers at every single street from White Rock and East Main to West Main and Northwest Avenue.
You ran through the barricades to get on White Rock or to get on Main
Barricades at all those
Street.
streets.
Yes.
So you had no choice.
Do you know if there were officers stationed at those barricades?
Yes, this map shows, it appears, where everyone was for their assignments that day.
So would it be fair to say if someone wanted to exit the parade route, they would essentially be blocked in by the officers and barricades?
No.
No.
There are barricades at these streets we can see, would that be fair to say?
No.
So it's not fair to say that there's barricades at these streets?
It's fair to say that there's barricades at the streets.
Yeah.
So essentially, if someone was leaving the parade route, can they just go right through the barricades?
Yes.
No
Based
different
on
than
the
going through
previous
people's
videos that we
bodies.
just were shown.
Yeah.
Not
better,
based
in
on
my
the
opinion,
previous
obviously.
videos.
I'd rather
If someone was
you break through a
leaving
barricade.
the parade route,
Yeah.
can they just go down these streets that are barricaded? Can they just drive right out of there?
Yes, the videos
How
show
when,
that.
how when it's barricaded?
He's looking. He's so incredulous. Like Officer Schoulten is like, is he seriously asking this
Yeah.
question? Like, because we just watched a video with you driving through the barricade, and I watched you on the day of the parade drive through the barricade. So
Yeah.
what are you talking about? No, not from the previous video. He loves doing that too. Not from the video.
Right.
Not from what you saw. I'm asking you now. Can they do that? Yes, they can do that. How? Well, you did it. I watched you do it. You drove right through the barricade that day. I watched you. I shot at you.
As the video were shown earlier, the vehicle went right through the
Well,
barricade.
you asked the question, you have to let him answer that. He's giving you the reason. You asked him
Let
how.
him answer.
He's explaining it.
He don't want him to
plenty of
answer.
ways to get off the parade route. You can stop.
What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, he wants to control what his answer is gonna be.
Yeah,
So he
no.
wants to basically answer for him in a way, or
Yeah. He's trying to craft the question to have a specific answer.
yeah.
He tries to do that with everybody. He tries to craft their questions so they have to answer a certain way, and then when they don't give the answer he wants, he doesn't know what to do because he's not a good lawyer.
Right.
He's like a Wish.com lawyer. Like when he asked, the first time he has Casey up on the stand and he asks, why would somebody honk their horn? And Casey's like, maybe to alert somebody of their presence,
Right.
which is what he's trying to say. Well, I honked my horn, they just didn't get out the way. It's their fault I ran them over because I honked my horn. But then the second time Casey's on the stand and he's like, why would somebody honk their horn? And Casey says, well, I imagine the driver was angry. And he's like, what? He doesn't. He's like, wait, what? That didn't even come into his head.
Yeah.
Casey's like, I imagine he was angry and he wanted to get through the crowd. Well, why would you think that?
Yep.
Well, I've been driving a while and people get angry and they honk their horn at you, which is another valid answer.
He thought he would have control over the answer.
Yeah, he
That it
thought.
would be in his favor.
Yeah, because he always says, what's the only reason somebody will honk their horn?
Yeah.
That's not the only reason. People honk their horns for all kinds of reasons, dude.
After being given lawful orders by officers and they could have directed you off the parade route in a safe manner.
Yep.
You could have stopped the vehicle
Just stop.
at any point, or you could have driven through plastic barricades like you did at Northwest Avenue, where I was located.
Yep.
So yes, you can drive through the
refer to
plastic
as who?
barricades.
The
You.
refer to as who?
Darrell Brooks, you.
You.
The person that's talking.
The you? And how did you come to the conclusion of that name, as you stated that you couldn't see past this building here, which you said is the Wisconsin House? Would that be fair to say?
Well, that's a compound question,
What?
so you need to rephrase that,
Yeah.
sir.
You stated, clear this right there.
Please? Is that a please?
Can you
Look
clear
at-
this?
Do you see how he looked at her? She said, "Can you
Yeah.
have some common courtesy towards my court clerk, please?"
He doesn't give a care about the court clerk.
No.
Are you kidding?
No. She's like, "Could you have a little bit of common courtesy and ask my court clerk politely? Show her a little bit of respect." And she's like, "Was that a please?" And he's like, "What? Don't you talk back to me, woman. That's, oh my, it's
I
crazy."
control women. Don't.
Yeah. And then at the end, when he's talking about what rage, I ask myself, what rage they talking about? We see your rage through this entire trial, bro. You are full of rage towards women, especially women witnesses, the judge, Sue Opper. You are full of rage, and you don't hide it very well.
So it would be fair to say you also couldn't see what was happening along the parade route on Main Street. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
That's correct.
So it would be also fair to say that everything that you knew up until that point came over the radio and you didn't have first-hand knowledge.
Okay,
That's
babe.
correct.
You also stated that after a few minutes of hearing these, I guess, radio reports, you said after a few minutes, you noticed something was going on. Do you recall from the reports how long this vehicle traveled along the parade route? An estimate of the time that it traveled down the parade route?
I do not know how long the vehicle was on the parade route for. If I had to estimate, I would estimate approximately 1 to 2.5 minutes. 2 minutes, maybe.
Would you
Yeah,
say
didn't
it's
take
fair to
that
say
long.
That's relatively a short amount of time?
He was doing 30 miles an
I would agree
hour.
with that.
So what do you mean by after a few minutes you noticed something was going on?
Because after a few minutes, what I meant by that was the initial call for service at the boat launch, or for that domestic fight in Frame Park. From that time frame, from when squads were responding to there to the time that
But
I had shots fired, that is what I mean by a few minutes. So you have to take into account
Darrell
the time for squads
Oh.
responding
Yeah.
to that call.
I don't know police protocol, so just
No.
asking.
No kidding. You don't.
that's not a question.
Mr. Brooks, please ask your next question.
I'm getting to it.
No, right, but
Gosh, his attitude.
I have to advise the jury to disregard the comment
I'ma
because
get
it's
to
not
it.
testimony.
I'm getting to it.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Well, get to it. Ask your next question.
And you
his
stated
attitude.
that. Well, let's go to.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, go ahead. You don't need, do you need that? We're gonna turn it off.
Yeah, you can take that down. Sorry about that.
All right, thank you.
Backwards mask.
I believe it's
Again.
Exhibit 57.
Your mask is backwards. Fast
Put
forward.
up Exhibit
Does he do
57.
that on purpose? His backward mask.
I don't know.
Oh.
Would it be fair to say that those are barricades that are laying in the street there?
Correct.
Any idea why they were not standing up?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Will you agree?
It was very windy that day, so when they were standing up how they normally are, they kept on blowing across the street. So we tilted them on their sides so they wouldn't get blown across the road, and they would still stay up there and block traffic.
They would be able to block traffic by laying down,
Yes.
They serve the same purpose.
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
would be able to block traffic by laying down.
Yes.
It's not a permanent barricade. It's not the cement pillars at an FBI headquarters or the
Yeah.
White House, or it's not a permanent barricade. It's just a temporary thing to let people know that this street is closed. It's temporary.
Yeah.
It can be moved by a person pushing it, a car pushing it. It could be probably even knocked over by a kid hitting it.
Yeah.
It's not permanent. He's acting like he had no way out. These like cement cylinders and barricades blocked him in, and his
Yeah.
only option were to kill all these people
Because he couldn't get off the
because he
road.
couldn't get off the road. That's
Yeah.
what he's acting like. These barricades. That you mean to tell me they blocked? He's so stupid.
He's acting like the ones on the side streets because they
Yeah.
were standing upright. He couldn't drive through them.
right.
But because these ones are laying down, he drove through them no problem because they were laying down. Like, dude, they're all made out of plastic.
Yeah,
You could have
they're
driven
all-
through any of them. Like,
They're not the permanent ones that are on. You know.
we call them, what do we call them? Up in Maryland, we call them Jersey barricades or Jersey borders or something like that. The big cement ones that are along the side of construction sites.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call
Well,
them
those
like,
are pretty permanent ones too.
yeah.
But
I mean, you can't drive through one of those.
No.
You're going to smash up your car. But they can also be moved with a crane and stuff like that.
I was talking
So-
more about the ones they have at places where, I guess basically, ever since the Oklahoma City bombing and the
Outside federal buildings.
Yes, the original Trade Center
steel
bombings
posts
is those
that come
steel
up.
posts that come up,
Yeah.
or even outside of schools, like when we were at that school in Columbus or Cincinnati. Remember, we were at the Raising Cane's. It
Yeah,
was
outside
Columbus.
Cincinnati.
Okay, was it
No,
Cincinnati?
that was Cincinnati when we went to
I
Raising
thought it was
Cane's.
Columbus, Ohio.
No, it was the one in Cincinnati, outside the University of Cincinnati, I believe.
Okay.
Because the school in
anyways,
Ohio is Ohio State.
Okay, but
So
they had the
this
same
was Cincinnati.
barricades.
They had
to-
those steel poles that come up out of the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's acting like it's those.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he had no way around.
Yeah, he had no way to get out except to run over a bunch of people.
Yeah, those are the ones I was talking about, not the ones they put on side of highway when they're doing construction, but more the permanent building ones.
Yeah, like the ones we have outside bases
Yep.
and in front of federal buildings. And you hit a button and they pop up.
Yeah, and then you could get rid of them in case somebody needs to get close. Like, for instance, if the president was visiting or something,
Yeah, you can
they
hit a
would let
button and they
them
retract.
drop in, and
Yeah.
then push them back up. Right.
Yeah, he's acting like these little plastic barricades are those. They're basically milk crates. They're just a visual deterrence to let people know this way's blocked off for the parade.
Yep.
Because nobody's crazy or stupid enough or malicious enough to drive through those
Right.
over a bunch of people and then claim, well, because those ones were laying down, that's why I drove through those. But those ones were standing up and there were officers, so I couldn't have gone through there. Come on, dude. Piece of crap.
I guess I don't understand what your question is here.
Would
because
it
it
be
doesn't make
much
sense.
more easier to see them if they were
Much
facing
more
upright?
easier. Much
Yeah,
more
laying
easier.
down.
He's a credit to my
I
race.
think the height difference between them laying down and being upright is probably quite minuscule because as
negligible.
you see, the legs that are now up in the air are approximately the same height as what the bar would be
Yeah,
if they were
look at
standing
'em. Basically the
standing
same
up
height.
how they normally are.
And you come to that conclusion how?
My
Based on my
eyes.
training experience after deploying barricades on numerous events and working
Also
several
my
parades
eyes.
and
I can see it.
my work history.
So you would estimate that a barricade facing upright and a barricade laying down would be the same height.
Approximately.
Approximately, yeah. Just about. It's high enough for you to see something in the road that you shouldn't drive through.
Can you bring it back to 10?
They got some
Yes,
nice
I-
laptops for government employees. Look
Yeah.
how thin those are. Prosecutors get nice gear.
From what we're looking at right now,
My laptop wasn't that nice in the freaking NSA.
it's a little hard to see. You can see the vehicle, you can see where you identified you were, but it's a little bit hard to see everything. Would that be fair to say? Because of the person with the black coat and the gray hoodie and Nike black pants is directly in the middle of the screen? That's fair to
correct.
say it's a little hard to see from this.
Where it is paused now, yes.
Yes, that's what I meant. Where it's paused now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like
let's
you're,
see what's going on.
this would be you right here. Would that be fair to say?
That is
There's
correct.
barricades in the background and his car right there.
Yeah. He's
It
about to
looks
drive
like
through.
you're firing your weapon right there. Would that be fair to say?
I do not know if I have pulled the trigger yet or not. I don't believe I have.
You were ready to fire at that point.
That's correct.
Do you recall what you were aiming for?
Yes, I do.
Don't ask.
You stay for the record and for the jury.
That's not a question.
You, Darrell Brooks.
Again, you make reference to the you.
Who's you?
That's not a question you want to ask somebody who shot at you.
I don't know who Darrell Brooks is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hate when he does this. I don't consent to being called this person. I don't know who this person is. Blah, 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 blah. He's so stupid. He has to be made fun of in prison. I mean, he's got to be a laughingstock in prison now.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he is. I'd be laughing
If
at
I
him.
was there in prison, I would be laughing at him if I
Yeah.
saw any of this trial at all.
Oh, you know they get TV and
Yeah.
stuff in prison, so they probably saw his trial.
Oh my gosh,
I
I
would
would
be
just be...
clowning him
Yes.
constantly.
He...
Dude, you stupid.
Years of material to make fun of this guy.
Yeah.
Got years of material in prison to make fun of this guy.
He caught all the smoke.
And the name. How did you come to that? Seeing as how
And listen to this
you
question.
just testified to that, you couldn't
Listen
see
to me.
anything before what you call the Wisconsin house. Would that be fair to say that you testified to that?
That's correct.
Wait, this one, I think.
You also stated that you learned additional information later on. Would that be
Correct.
fair to say?
That's correct.
So how could you determine at this time right now where we're looking at that you knew the suspect's name
Oh, no, it's not this.
And the driver.
It's coming up.
because you keep referring to you and then you saying the name? How did you have that information at this point that's paused right here that we're looking at?
I didn't say at that time I knew your name.
I didn't know your
You
name.
referred to the name.
And
You're not.
He's talking
That's
about
correct.
now.
I know your name now.
So how were you able to obtain the information about a name?
I did not know your name at the time I shot at you.
I did not know
And you
your
never
name
said
at the time I
anything.
shot at
You're
you.
referring to.
Darrell Brooks.
You.
Again, you
Look at
said
that
the
smirk.
name.
You are-
haven't answered how you came to that information. Were you told this?
Oh my gosh, your brain.
Yes.
Your
Yes,
brain.
I was
your
told
brain.
your name.
I do not know who told me.
I don't know.
Ultimately, I just know that
I
throughout
just
the
know
course
your
of the
name. I don't know who
investigation,
told me your name.
you were arrested within 30 or 40 minutes, and you were identified as Darrell Brooks, who was the suspect in this incident.
So you either had to hear that name from either a report that you heard or someone told you. How did you come to the conclusion of the name?
Someone told me.
I'm assuming someone at the police department told me your
Look
name.
at it. Look at it smile.
And you don't recall who
Because
that
he
was.
can't believe what
No.
he's hearing.
Even though you can cite the name so clearly and identify it and keep stressing it and stressing it, and you don't recall how you learned the information of the name?
How am I?
That's correct.
Go ahead.
Your name's Scott Lewis, right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, before I met you on December 1st of 2018 in person, I still referred to you as Scott Lewis when we're talking about your past when you were a child. He's acting like, oh my god, I don't know how to explain it. It's so stupid. He's so stupid.
That's like,
You know what I'm trying to get to saying, right?
I know, I was gonna say, that's like me saying, if we hadn't known each other, but we grew up in the same area or something, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that one time in school when Renee was playing basketball on the playground or whatever, and then you're like, well, you didn't know me then. How'd you know my name?
Right.
How do you know my name then?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Because I know you now,
Mhm.
babe.
That's right. Yeah.
I know
That's
you
exactly
now.
it.
And I know that was you back then. Yeah, but how you said the name. How did you know the name at that time?
Yeah.
I didn't know your name at that time. I just remember seeing you do that. And I know your name's Renee now, so I said, Renee did that. He's trying to act like, well, you didn't know my name at the time. Therefore, how can you say my name now?
Yep.
Or say that name now? You didn't know the name of the person at the time. How can you say it now? Well, because I know your name now.
Yeah.
How did you come to that conclusion? What conclusion? That's not a thing.
Oh.
He always says that. How did you come to the conclusion of the name? I didn't come to the conclusion of a name. Somebody told me your name. It was on your ID
Yeah.
that was in your pocket
What's your name?
next to the car key that
attached
started the car.
To your social security number. It's attached to
Yes.
your birthday. It's attached to
Your fingerprints. Your
you.
mugshot.
Yes. Oh my God.
Your fingerprints, your mugshot from when you were in jail previously.
Look at the wrinkles in his forehead. He's like
Incredulous.
So
in disbelief.
yes, like there's no way you could have known my name. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's just I don't
He's
know.
in disbelief.
Yep.
And
You'll have to
Schoulten.
circle his.
Yeah. And Schoulten is like laughing. He's like laughing,
he's
smiling because he's like, this is so
This
ridiculous.
is a joke. He's like
Yeah.
he's thinking in his mind, this has got to be a joke. This guy's like joking. He's like yanking my chain. That's
Yeah,
what he
it's
thinks.
like, I cannot believe he's asking me these questions.
Yeah. If I was sitting up there, I'd be looking at Darrell and be like, Darrell, all right, he's yanking my chain. This is like a big joke.
Yeah.
This is because
He's
there's
like
no other
pranking me or
explanation
something.
for it. Yeah.
This is ridiculous. What do you
It's
mean?
like,
How did I know your? I didn't know your name at the time.
Are we on the show Punked? Is this
Yeah.
Punked?
Ashton Kutcher's gonna
Yeah.
jump out.
Right? Oh my gosh. So
For you
stupid.
younger viewers, that was a show on MTV way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Ashton Kutcher. Is he still married to Demi Moore?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
God, I think I got divorced a long time ago, babe.
I don't
He's
know. I'm
married
old
to-
and I don't pay attention to pop culture.
He's been married to Mila Kunis for a long time.
Mila Kunis?
Yeah.
I thought she married somebody else.
No.
Oh, okay.
That 70s show they played on together.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they've been married for a while.
I used to hate Mila Kunis until I saw, what was that movie? Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
That was a funny movie, and Mila Kunis was really good in it, and that's why I started liking her. I hated her on that 70s show. But Forgetting Sarah Marshall, she turned me around. I like her. She's a good actress, and she's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's where they met. Or
there was an old show called Punked, where they used to do pranks. It was pranks before or before YouTube pranks happened.
and if I was sitting across from him, that's what I would think in my head. This is certainly
This is
like
Punked.
or hidden camera. What was that one? Hidden.
Yeah, hidden
No,
camera.
It was something when my parents were when.
Yeah, it was something about.
What was it?
I keep wanting to say combat camera, but it's not
No,
that.
it
But
wasn't. It was. You're on Candid Camera.
Candid Camera.
Yes, that's another
you're
one.
on
It's like
Candid
Punked.
Camera.
It
Yeah.
was the earlier version of Punked, like
Yeah,
for when
it was Punked for like the 70s,
parents.
80s, and 70s and 80s. It was Candid
60s,
Camera.
70s. Yeah, that's it.
They
Candid
would
Camera.
have hidden cameras in a restaurant, and they'd like
And
have
then-
some outrageous thing happen, and then get people's reaction, and
Yep.
they jump out and be like, "You're on Candid Camera."
That's how it's outrageous what's happening right
Yeah.
now in this trial.
That's why Bryce is laughing like,
Like,
really?
gosh.
Really?
Now that we went off on that tangent, that was funny.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go.
So is it fair to say that you're just using the name based off what you're told and not what you were aware of?
What? You're using a name based off of what you were told and not what you were aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of what I was told.
Yeah.
If somebody tells me something, I'm aware of it. And then I think he's gonna try to clarify and say, is it fair to say that you're just using a name based off what you told and not what you knew? Like, I know, but I was told. That's
Yeah.
called knowledge. That's called learning. It's like, how'd you learn in school? Well, you didn't learn in school, but how do most people learn in
Clearly,
school?
no, he did not.
You go to school, the teacher tells you something, and you learn. Then you know it. So everything, not everything, but most things we know are stuff we've been told or stuff we've observed. So I don't know what your question means. Is it fair to say you're basing this off of what you told and not what you knew? Or not what you were aware of? What? I'm aware of what I was told. I know what I was told. That's how learning works. Somebody told me your name, now I know your name.
What are you asking me?
Look at that face. What?
Is it fair to say that you're identifying this name based off of what you told and not what you knew?
saying the name based on the fact that you were arrested for this incident.
Yep.
You were identified during this incident.
Yep.
And because of that investigation, that is how we know your name.
Yes. You
Would it
had
be
your
fair to
ID
say,
in your
and
pocket.
Obviously, you said you've been in law enforcement for 7.5 years, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
I'm sure you've done a lot of investigations in that 7.5 years. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
So you do understand that during a police investigation,
Yeah.
any suspect is innocent until proven guilty. Would that be fair to say?
That's
Correct.
correct.
Good
And so with that
job.
knowledge, why are you so adamant about the name of the suspect that you just testified to not being aware of at the time? That you testified to, in fact, being told.
Because of all the things I've seen since then, videos, witness testimony.
Your
I've
ID
seen
in
this
your
guy.
pocket.
I seen him in his car. Oh, well, until you're going off what someone told you.
Like, no, I saw you.
I saw you, but yes, I'm also going off of witness testimony
told me
that's
that's your
seen
name.
you. And then they showed me their cell phone video, and lo and behold, look who popped up. You, in their cell phone video, driving a car, running over people. This guy's such an idiot. Every time I
And-
watch these, I'm like
And
fascinated how
stupid he is.
stupid he is.
That he actually thinks he sounds intelligent.
Yes.
He's
Ugh.
so stupid and wrong, and he thinks he's doing a good job. He thinks he knows what he's doing. That is the hubris of a narcissist. He thinks that he's doing a good job, and he's going to be let off when he's done because he's poked holes all throughout the prosecution's case. When you haven't, no, you haven't. All you're doing is proving the prosecution's case more.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with, what was I going to say? When he said, obviously you've done a lot of investigations and a suspect is innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's got nothing to do with me knowing your name.
No.
I didn't say you were guilty. I didn't say anything about
This
your
trial
guilt or
is to
innocence. This
prove if you
trial
are.
is to determine if you're guilty or innocent. I'm testifying that I saw you driving a car and I shot at you. That's what I'm testifying to. I didn't say anything about whether you were guilty or innocent. He's like, so if you were saying that, how can you keep using the name and stressing it? It's like, well, I can use your name. That's not saying you're guilty or innocent. That's saying you were in the car. That's what I'm saying. It's up to the jury to decide.
I have to use the restroom.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll be fast.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm confused by your question. You say it again.
I think it was clear, but I'll say it again.
No.
If it was
Thank
clear, you should remember it. But you don't.
Well, I'll say it this way.
Yeah, because you don't remember
Testify
it.
to not being aware of the suspect's name at the time.
Correct.
You also testified to being told of the name, correct?
Correct. I don't know how I came about your name. I would assume it was through the investigation at the police department.
Yeah.
And were you, in fact, part of that investigation?
No, I was not.
No, but cops talk.
So it would be fair to say that by you using a name, you would not be sure. How can you be sure?
I'll object.
Grounds.
Argumentative. I love Zach.
It's been answered. It's argumentative. The objection is sustained. Please ask your next question.
Move on.
Move on. I'm not
Got
allowed.
to be kidding me.
Yeah. They're like, we let you ask about this name bold
For the
beep
last
for
5
the last
minutes.
yeah
5 minutes straight.
yeah 5-10 minutes maybe
Yeah. How do you know my name?
yeah. How'd you get the name? What the name? Name.
How do you say you? How do you
You
know
who?
you is Darrell
Who's
Brooks?
you?
Who's you? Who's you?
Yeah.
Who's you? How do you know you? Who's
What do you
you?
mean by you? But Zach, I love Zach so much. Zach's like, all right, this is ridiculous. I'll object. Argumentative. He's just like,
Yeah.
whatever. All the objections.
Gosh, if
Objection. All of them.
If my dad was watching this, he would.
Oh,
he
your
would-
dad.
oh,
Me
he
and your dad
lose
would
it.
be yelling at this.
Is this guy, and I mean, my dad would use expletives, but is this guy the? Oh, yeah.
Well, we'd both be me
Yeah.
and your dad would both be sitting in the living room on the couch yelling at Darrell. Mm-hmm. Like, that'd be fun. Mm-hmm. We would have hours of just watching. I would have to show him too. I'd be like, "You have to watch this guy.
Yeah.
He's so stupid." Mm-hmm.
When asked about what you were aiming at when you fired, you didn't give a definitive answer. You were aiming for the driver?
No, I wasn't aiming for the driver. I was aiming for myself, knowing I would have to go through this
Right?
insane questioning. That's what I was doing. I was aiming for
gonna
myself.
aim for myself.
Be like, oh, guy, I can't.
So I
No.
didn't have to. I saw the future.
I saw the future, and I can't handle talking to you and having you talk
Yeah.
to me. Shoot.
He said, when asked about what you were aiming for, you didn't give a definitive answer. When he asked him what he was aiming for, he said, "You." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Who's you?"
Who's you? You
And he
who?
said, "Darrell Brooks." That's a definitive answer. What
yes.
else? What else would I be? I said, "You." I was aiming at you, Darrell Brooks. I was trying to shoot you.
His eyes are closed. If you pause it on this
Yeah.
while we're talking and show that, like, his eyes are closed right now with what we see.
Yeah.
And
Because he's
he's
developing
like-
a migraine.
He's all, how am I going to get through this? I just want to jump off this thing and beat the crap out of this moron. That's what I'm thinking in my mind.
Yeah.
He's like, I have to answer this guy's stupid questions. Let me just close my eyes and go to my happy place.
Yeah. He's developing a
It's like
migraine. And
Phoebe
he's
telling
like,
Monica, go to your happy place.
Yeah.
No,
He's
that's
like,
my
"Oh,
happy
Lord."
place. Put your cup
Please
of coffee
help me.
down and leave.
Yeah. Please put the coffee down and get
Yeah,
out.
Get out.
I felt like I gave a pretty definitive answer.
You
My
did.
answer was you,
You
Darrell
were aiming
Brooks.
for the driver.
Yes.
You.
It's pretty definitive. I
Oh, his eyes.
identified the person I
So
was shooting at.
Yeah.
what part of the driver's body could you see when the vehicle passed you?
Well, usually when somebody's driving a car, you can see their legs, you can see their feet in their butt.
Yeah.
Yep, their feet in their butt. That's what's usually showing when you're driving a vehicle,
Yeah.
right, babe?
Yeah. That's what I saw when you were driving past. Your feet
Right, and
your ass.
Ass.
Because you were using your hands to drive and you were using your knees and butt cheeks to steer.
Steer.
Like,
What
do
kind
you
of
mean? What could I
question is
see?
that? I could see your upper torso, your head, and most likely your hands, because your hands are probably somewhere on the steering wheel. That's what everybody who's driving can see.
But
What a dumb question.
well, he's trying to. He thinks he's being a lawyer now. He's being a Wish.com lawyer, and he's trying to steer him into a certain direction to say you were trying to kill me. So watch how he tries to rephrase and reframe what he says when he says, "I saw your silhouette," and he's like, "Well, this would be this, and this would be that, and would you say it was this, and would you say it was?" He's trying to steer his answers to where he wants, so he can say you were trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Basically, and like yes, well not yes, I wasn't trying to kill you. I was trying to stop the threat. That's
Yeah.
what cops do.
Yeah. Eliminate the threat.
Eliminate the threat. You were threatening
Or
people at the
neutralize
parade.
the threat. Is it neutralize or eliminate?
Neutralize.
Neutralize
yeah.
the threat. Okay.
Neutralize the threat.
Not necessarily
I-
eliminate.
I personally got my force protection training from the military. It's a whole different world from the military to the cops. If you put me on the stand as Officer Schoulten and say, "Where were you aiming at?" You. So would you say that's kill shots? Yes. So you were trying to kill me? Yes. I was trying to kill you. But cops don't do that. Cops say, no, I was trying to neutralize the threat
Okay.
that
So-
you were making downtown. And the military, no, I was trying to kill you.
So military, it's eliminate the threat, and in the civilian cop world, it's usually neutralize the threat.
Yes.
Okay.
In the military, I'm allowed to say, yes, I was trying to kill you. Why? Because you were breaching security. You were threatening national security. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. If I'm in the military and I'm shooting at you, I'm trying to kill you. I'm not trying to neutralize you. I'm not, he stopped, so stop shooting. No, I'm trying to kill you. Cops have a different code of conduct and ethics and stuff they have to do because they're peace officers. Military, we're not peace officers. I'm trying to kill you. Eliminate you. I might have to beep that out. I don't know how YouTube is. Whatever.
Yeah, probably don't say kill. Eliminating.
When the
terminate
vehicle was
and-
approaching me, I could see the silhouette of his face and upper portion of his body.
Can you describe what you mean by silhouette?
Silhouette.
The
Just
upper
the outline
portion of a
your
person's
body. It's
body. I would
this,
say
the
from
outline.
maybe chest, shoulders, and head and face.
Watch what he says. Now watch
You
how
said
Darrell tries to
silhouette.
flip it.
What is a silhouette?
It's
The
the
outer
outline
portions
of your body.
what would be like your shoulder down, your arms to your chest. The silhouette would be the outer portion of it.
That would be the upper half, not the silhouette. What do you mean by silhouette?
Objection.
The objection is sustained.
Stop
It's-
trying to testify.
Mr. Brooks is not asking a question. It was argumentative.
He's
The
trying to
jury can
testify.
certainly decide what that means, but he's answered the question.
Talking over the
Would
judge.
it be fair to say that that would be equivalent to a profile?
No.
What do you mean by a profile?
This. I can't see the phone. My wife will have to tell me if I'm turned far enough. This is a profile.
Yeah, the side.
The side of your face is a
Yeah.
profile. This is a silhouette.
Right. As if, yeah.
When you
can
go
tell
to
it's a
the
human body.
Yeah, when you go to the gun range and you go shooting, they put those paper targets up. It's a silhouette of a human. It's the head, it's the shoulders, arm. That's what he's talking about when he says silhouette. A profile would be a person standing sideways. That would be a profile. And like, he's trying to reframe his words to say, oh no, you didn't see this, you saw this.
A profile would be sort of like a side angle view.
No, he said what he
Would
saw.
it be fair to say that a silhouette would be more of an outline that would be kind of similar to a profile?
No.
I don't know exactly what you're asking here,
'Cause
but
it's
I can tell you
ridiculous.
when the vehicle was driving towards me, I could see your face.
Your
And
face.
then as the vehicle drove to my right, yes, then I saw the side of your face. And so then, yes, as a vehicle passes you, you see different portions of the driver, I guess you could say.
Yeah. When you're coming at me, I saw your silhouette. As you went past, I saw your profile.
Correct.
So that would be the upper part, as you say, you said the shoulder, you made I think it was your left hand pointing to your right shoulder, shoulder and up. Silhouette, as you say.
That is what I could see when you were driving at me. You asked me what I could see.
You asked me
of
what I
you,
could
and that is
see.
what I could see of you.
That's
in the
what I
vehicle
could
when you were
see.
approaching
The
me.
question now, though, is that what you aimed for?
I aimed at you.
I was aiming at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
At what you can see.
I was aiming at you in the driver's seat.
Yes.
Yes.
Shoulder, as you pointed to, and up.
Whatever I could hit, bro. Anything I could hit.
Yes.
Sure.
Firing a weapon of your caliber.
What caliber? What caliber is his weapon? Do you know? Is it a 9mm? Is it 380? Is it 45? What caliber is his weapon? You don't know. You just said firing a weapon of your caliber. What caliber is his weapon? You have no idea. Idiot.
Would any of those shots be kill shots?
Potentially.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that firing a kill shot at anyone would terrify him?
Firing a kill shot at anyone would terrify him. This man got shot at after he already ran through the parade, killed 5 people. I know he killed 6, but
At that point, 5, yeah.
Jackson, Jackson didn't die until later because he was on life support for a few days, and then
Yeah,
they decided to
that's
take
right.
him off and make
At
him an
that
organ
point,
donor.
5.
But at that point, he killed 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Bill Hospital died in the hospital from pleural effusion. His lungs filled up with liquid, and he died in the hospital. But whatever. At that point, he had already hit 60 some odd people, killed at least 4, if not 5 of them, seriously injured dozens. Okay, as I was saying before my camera cut out, he had already run through the parade and killed 60 some odd people. And now he wants us to be upset
Hit some.
or
Not killed.
hit 60 some odd people, killed 5, hit 60 some odd people and injured them. And he wants us to have sympathy for him
Because he was scared when
he
somebody...
was scared that Officer Schoulten shot at him.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude. Nobody's worried about you being terrified that he shot at you.
No.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look at him.
I'm sure being shot at is terrifying.
Terrifying. Sure.
Yes, it is.
Right? Sure it is.
So it'd be fair to say you were shooting to kill.
No.
No.
Shooting at kids?
Shooting to kill.
Oh, shooting at kids.
So
No.
would it be fair to say that, judging based on what you see that you testified to, a silhouette from about here that you pointed to, from the shoulder, using your left hand, you pointed at your right shoulder from here up, and you just acknowledged that any one of those 3 shots could have been kill shots.
Could have been.
Would it be fair to say that you were aiming to kill?
No.
Shooting to kill, rather. Not aiming to kill, but shooting to kill.
No.
So, in your estimate, what do you think you would have hit if you just testified to saying that you aimed at the driver? What were you estimating to hit?
You.
Well, my intention was to shoot you in the upper portion of the body. However, my intention was not to kill you. My intention was to stop the threat that you were posing to everyone in the downtown area at the Christmas parade.
Yes.
Keep referring to the you again.
Oh, Lord.
That's not a question. So,
Yeah, you. Bitch. You.
by your estimation, acknowledging that those were kill shots,
No. They could have been kill shots.
if you connected with any of those shots, is it possible the driver could have been killed?
Yes.
Yes. That's possible. Don't run through a parade. You won't
And
get
would it
shot
be
at.
fair to say that that's deadly force?
Yes.
Yes.
That is deadly force. He was authorized to use deadly force when you killed 5 people and ran
Do
over
you think
60
it would
something
have been
others.
possible to aim at the tire of the vehicle?
Ha! No.
I've seen police chases. They keep going.
Why not? Would shooting the tire of the vehicle not stop the vehicle?
No.
No.
No,
No.
it would not have.
I've seen police chases. Nope.
Yeah.
So a blown tire would, to your estimation, a blown tire would not stop a vehicle from moving?
Absolutely,
No,
it would not.
it will not.
Absolutely
so it'll
not.
just keep on. It won't even slow down?
Yes.
That is
Absolutely.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trained to stop the threat. You were the threat. The vehicle was not. The vehicle was the weapon in which you used. So that is why I shot at you.
There's the you again.
There's the you, babe. I don't know who you're talking about. You.
I know.
You who? Who you?
You who? Who you?
Could you have, well, you testify that you're trained to stop the threat.
Yes.
And so, would it be fair to say that that training constitutes shooting kill shots?
No.
Well, we are trained in deadly force, and when we are presented with a deadly force incident,
Yeah, they're
yes,
trained
we
for
have to
shooting kill shots,
sometimes
babe.
make that difficult
Yeah.
decision.
But
And
They teach the cops to do
use deadly
headshots only.
force.
Have you
Apparently.
ever used deadly force
Yeah.
before that incident?
Objection. Prior acts.
Sustained.
Prior acts. Not relevant. Whether he's used deadly force in the past.
You said you're trained to use deadly force. So would it be fair to say that anytime you shoot your weapon, it would be deadly force?
When it's aimed at a person. Yeah?
when it is directed at a person. Yes.
Were you injured in any way during the incident?
No, I was not.
And at the time, being where you were positioned at, you've already testified that you could not see what was going on during the parade route from your position.
Okay.
So, why did you feel the need at the time, not knowing the full extent of what was happening, to use deadly force?
Because you were running people over.
Because as I previously stated, based on the fact that the radio traffic for people screaming for ambulances, and as different officers were getting on the radio, and it was progressively moving further and further westbound towards me on the parade route, that, and then officers saying someone was hit, which I initially thought was a physical altercation.
Listen to how many times you hear him say, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a heads up, people. Listen to how many times you hear Officer Schoulten say, I knew. That he knew something.
Being hit, but it was a vehicle versus person hit. Based on that, the vehicle speed at which, yes, I could not see it down Main Street. I only had a couple seconds at most until the vehicle from where I saw it was to my location. So based on the amount of vehicle damage, I knew the vehicle had been striking pedestrians in the roadway, and because of that, that's a deadly force incident. So that is why I deployed deadly force.
Mm-hmm.
How many times?
I didn't count them.
Once.
A lot. Oh, yeah.
Once. He said, once I saw the vehicle and I heard the radio calls and I saw the people running, that's when I knew that this vehicle had been running over people, and that made it a deadly force incident.
Okay.
Once.
Yeah.
Now listen to what Darrell says coming up.
Hmm.
So you said you knew. You knew what the vehicle had. You knew. You said it multiple times. You knew.
Yes.
How could you know?
He said it
if
once.
You could not see around.
He did not
the
say it
position
multiple
that you
times.
were positioned in.
Let me run
How
that
did
back
know
for
that?
you guys in the
Because
edit.
based on the amount of vehicle damage, I knew the vehicle had been striking pedestrians in the roadway. Speed of a vehicle on a closed roadway during a parade, and people running out of the way so they did not get run over right in front of me. Between all of those things, I knew what had just happened, and that is why I had to take action.
And you knew based on the radio reports.
Yes.
I would say everything that I had just previously described, all of that encompassing,
Everything else I
yes,
described.
that led up to my decision making into, yes, now I knew what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to think, he's like, and you knew all that based on the radio calls. As if everybody on the radio is just lying.
Yeah.
That's what he seems to think. It's like, because he lies so much. Oh, go ahead.
Or they're making a bigger deal out of it than it was, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they're
asking
lying.
for ambulances and stuff.
Yeah, I'm hearing on the radio, we have 30 people down, 40 people down, 60 people
They're
down,
making it more
100 people down.
dramatic than it was.
We have dead people. We need ambulances. We need every ambulance in the freaking tri-county, tri-state area, whatever. Oh, they're just being dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you heard the radio calls, and that's why you knew you had to shoot at me. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you've heard those radio calls, I've heard those radio calls, people. They're terrifying. It's devastating when you hear the cops over the radio and the people screaming, and it's crazy. I would have shot at him too. Matter of fact, I'm surprised Officer Schoulten had the discipline to wait until he had a better backdrop to shoot at him.
Mm-hmm.
He waited until he got past him because he saw a lot of kids and civilians when he was coming at him. When he had a better shot when he was coming at him, but he saw a lot of kids, civilians and stuff in the backdrop, so he didn't shoot.
Yeah.
He waited until he got past him and he had a better, more clear backdrop to shoot at him to make sure he didn't hit anybody innocent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I probably would have shot at him with that more cluttered backdrop. But I'm military trained.
Yeah.
And I have more faith in my marksmanship skills. So I probably would have shot at him as he was coming towards me to have a better chance. And we wouldn't have had this trial. We would have had a funeral. And sorry, Mama Dawn Woods. Your son shouldn't have driven through a parade. I'm sorry I had to shoot him, but he just killed 6 people, and drove through a parade, injured dozens more. Raise your son better.
You
Ready?
might want to cut that out.
What?
Raise your son better.
No.
No?
Hell no.
I don't know, but it's
She's
not
a
the mom's
terrible
fault,
mother.
babe.
It is her fault. It is. I'm leaving this in too. It is totally her fault.
You can't control what your grown-up adult son does, babe.
You cannot control what your grown-up adult son does, but you cannot bail him out after he just ran over his girlfriend with a car.
That's true.
You don't have to bail him out for $1,000, and then you don't have to give him the keys to that same car back so he can run off to try and hit his girlfriend again.
I just mean it's not her fault, as in she didn't commit the act. She
Did not. I'm not
she
saying.
gave him way too many chances.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying she committed the act, but she had a restraining order against him.
Yeah, because he hurt her too.
He hurt her, and his nephew had a restraining order against him, but she still let him live in her car, in her driveway. He got locked up for running over Erica with the car, and she bailed him out, gave him the keys to the car back, and let him sleep in her driveway still, on her property. And then, when she saw what happened on the news, she calls 911 and says, "My son stole my truck," to try and get out of responsibility for it. Oh, my son stole my truck from me. He didn't steal anything. You gave him the keys. Right after he got out of jail, you gave him the keys so he could go harass Erica and try to kill her. That's what you did. She has some responsibility for this. And then she gets on the news and says, "Oh, I don't think he knew what he was doing, and I'm sure he's really sorry for what he did." And it's like, well, if he's sorry for what he did, why hasn't he apologized?
Yeah, that's true.
No, she definitely shares some responsibility for this. This is a man who's never been held accountable or responsible for anything in his life. And he's gotten away with everything in his life because he manipulated everybody in his life.
Yeah.
And now he's coming up against the court system, and he doesn't understand why he can't manipulate everybody into doing what he wants. And he's trying to manipulate everybody on the jury to do what he wants. And it's not working, and he's getting pissed off and frustrated that it's not working. This dude...
Can you scratch my back?
I did not know previous to that what was going on. I did not know there was a vehicle on the roadway until I saw it. And it all made sense when I put everything together.
When you saw it, by the time you saw it, as you said, it was a couple of seconds. So at that point, did you observe the vehicle strike anyone from the time that you saw it?
No, I did not. I was focused on the vehicle, so I just remember that there were a ton of little kids and adults on the sidewalks. I knew there were a lot of children right in the roadway right there. And I remember seeing people like running, but I wasn't really paying attention to the people. I was just focused on the vehicle. So that was really all I was focused on at that point.
You weren't paying attention to any other people.
That was not my primary focus.
It was not my primary focus. I noticed them, but I wasn't focusing on them. I was
But you
focusing
do
on
recall
you.
that no one was struck from the time you saw the vehicle.
Yes, after looking back, after videos later on throughout the investigation.
No. From what you saw, from which you observed with your own eyes.
No, I can't recall ever seeing someone hit right in front of me. No, I do not recall that.
And Judge Doro really needs to step in more. I mean, I love Judge Doro. She's a great judge. She did a good job with the trial. But she really needs to step in more when he does that. He'll ask a question, and the person starts answering the question, and then he jumps in and interrupts and says, no, I mean this. And it's like, dude, let me answer the question that you asked. And if you want to clarify and ask me another question, then we can do that after I answer this question. Right. She does it a couple of times, but she doesn't do it enough. Because he interrupts and talks over witnesses constantly.
Yeah.
They ask, or he asks a question, they start to answer, and he's just like, no, I mean this. And it's like, well, you should have asked that question then. You should have said, at the time, did you see me hit anybody? Or did you see the car hit anybody at the time?
Yeah.
Not, did you ever see the car hit anybody? Well, yeah, in video. No, not videos. I'm talking about at the time. Well, you should have said that from the get-go, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because the exhibit videos that you saw here today, does anyone get struck in those videos that you saw today?
No, not that I saw today.
There's plenty
And
of
you still
videos
made
with
the
people getting
decision
hit.
to shoot to kill.
That's correct.
No.
Actually, correction, I shot
To stop the threat. Yeah,
If ultimately you would have been killed from that,
that is a possibility.
that is a possible outcome.
But you did testify that there were kill shots, did you not?
No, he didn't.
Sustained. It's also been asked and answered. in
He did not
multiple
testify
ways.
that they were
Do you
kill
recall
shots.
what your shots hit?
If anything.
If anything?
Yes, later on throughout the investigation when I
No,
gave
at
my...
the time. At
Again.
the time. Not later on. At the time where you fired the shots.
Mr. Brooks, you asked a question, he was
Yeah, now
attempting
she
to
jumps
answer it, so you have to
I
let,
was trying to give him clarification on what I
but
mean.
you have to
Yeah, but that's
let
not
him
the question
answer
you asked.
the question that you
You have
asked,
to
and if
wait.
you feel the need for follow-up, then you can do that, or ask a very specific question, but I'm allowing him to answer, he was interrupted, go ahead.
I believe it was 3 days after the incident. That is when I gave my voluntary statement to Detective Kirby and Detective Casey. And upon completion of that statement, I asked them if they could share any information with me. And during that conversation, I was shown a picture of the vehicle and where my rounds struck the vehicle.
You stated you asked them for any additional information that they could give you. So it would be fair to say at that time you still didn't have a lot of information.
Correct.
Would it be fair to say that?
That is correct. I didn't know where my rounds had struck previous to that.
Did you ask them in the
We're gonna skip
in the
this part,
statement that
guys.
you just testified to?
This part's
saying
boring.
You asked them if they can provide. And how did you come to the knowledge of the make and model of the vehicle when on the exhibit that was shown, you only had an interaction with it for a few seconds? How were you able to make out the make and the model of the vehicle?
Because he's a cop. How were you able to come up with the make and model of the vehicle? He's a cop.
You're supposed to know that
They
kind
deal
of
with
stuff.
cars.
Like,
Yeah.
you train for that.
Yeah. Not
To
only
be aware.
Yeah. Well, not only that, you do train for that, but not only that, but you pull over cars every day.
Mm-hmm.
You pull over cars every day. You pull over all kinds of cars every day. You know the make and
start to
model
get
of
to know
different
the-
vehicles.
yeah.
Yeah. And your car was a 2010 Ford Escape. It's not the most exotic car in the world. It's like, yeah, I know what a Toyota Camry looks like. I know what a Ford Escort looks like. I know what a Ford Explorer looks like. Like, it's a common car, bro. You're not driving a Pagani or a Ferrari. Bugatti. Yeah, it's like you're not driving a McLaren F1. Like, yeah, I knew what your car was. It's a freaking Ford Escape. 2010. It's not that hard to recognize or identify.
Because that vehicle model has been out for quite some time, and I'm halfway decent with vehicles, and I readily recognize that it was a Ford Escape.
So you've seen many Ford Escapes,
Yes.
Yes.
Many Ford Escapes.
and you said the model has been out for some time. So what do you mean by that? Do you mean
It's
an older
2022
model?
now, and that Ford model was approximately a 2008-ish to maybe a 2011, 2010-ish. So, yeah, they've been out for over a decade.
And
Yeah.
how did you come to that knowledge?
Oh
That-
my God! You
that
gotta be
estimate
kidding
of
me.
the years that the model could have been.
Oh my goodness!
Because I recognized it.
He knows cars.
Yeah.
Are you like a man, Darrell? Because I'm
No.
sorry, I've been around men, and my husband can usually point out the year and model and everything of a car when we're driving by.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's got to be like a 2010, 2011 or something.
Yeah.
Such and such. Or the class of the car, like a C-class Mercedes or E-class or whatever. The
Yeah.
different- You're not a man, Darrell. Sorry, but you're not a man.
He's not. He's like, I don't know anything about
and
cars.
My brother
Well,
and my dad.
get some
Not only my
testosterone.
husband. I mean, he knows tons about cars, but even my brother and my dad know tons about cars.
Yeah.
That's just normal.
No, he knows nothing about cars. Nothing.
How'd you come to this conclusion that was the year of the car and you know, oh my God.
He tried to say that because his back passenger side tire was one size bigger than it should have been, one size bigger than the rest of the tires on the car.
The car had a mind of its own?
No, he tried
Okay.
to say, would that cause a slight pull? No,
A
bro.
slight pull what?
Like a pull to one side or the other.
Oh, right, a pull into all the
Yeah, into all the people in the parade.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the tire
Driving
was
along.
one size bigger, 3/4 of an inch bigger than the other tires.
That's right. Driving along.
It caused a pull into
Oh, look
all
at
the
these
people.
barricades. I'm going to go through them. Okay.
Yeah.
Driving along.
Freaking
Oh, look
moron.
at those people. My back left tire is bigger than the other. Boom!
Yeah. That's why I had to run over all of
That's
them.
why I had to run over them.
My tire
boom!
was bigger than the rest of them.
One of my tires is bigger than the others.
And I couldn't stop because the
Nope,
tire was
I
bigger.
couldn't. Nope.
I hit the brakes, and he did, like he said that too. He's like, "What will be the only time the brake lights would come on?"
I'm not trying to make
'Cause we
light
hit
of
the
the whole
brakes.
situation, like laughing about driving and hitting people. I'm trying to
Illustrate his
illustrate
idiocy.
how stupid this
Yeah.
guy is, thinking that all of us are so dumb, so stupid, like we're idiots.
Yeah.
Everybody in the courtroom, everybody watching are so
All the
stupid
jurors, the whole
that
jury.
we're gonna buy his story of I had no way. His different stories of I had no way to get out because there were barricades up, so I had no choice but to hit the people.
Yeah.
Or his story of my right side rear tire was bigger than all the others, so it made me veer to the left, and all the people were on the left, so I had to hit all the people because of my tire. He's trying to make us.
He's trying to throw spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, that's what I'm
I mean,
laughing
and
at.
then-
I'm not laughing at all the people dying and stuff, and him driving along. Oh, my tire's bigger than the other. Bam! There's another one. 10 points.
And that's like his. He tries to bring up the the recall,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
was not a recall. It was an extended warranty that Ford issued for the car. He did not have a recall on his car, but he tries to bring up the recall.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to say throttle bodies malfunctioning, causing vehicles to not be able to stop.
Yeah,
Okay,
and to
I know
just
quite a bit about cars, and your
ram
throttle body has nothing to do with your brakes. Even if your throttle body is revving, you can put the car in neutral and hit the brakes. You can hit the brakes and stop the car and then put it in neutral or park. Your throttle body has nothing to do with your brakes, bro. Oh, throttle body's malfunctioning, causing vehicles to not be able to stop. No, that doesn't make any sense. Anybody on the jury, if I was on the jury, I'd have been like, that makes no sense.
Right.
Even if his throttle body was malfunctioning, he could still stop the car,
Yeah.
put it in park, and the car would just be revving like man, because the throttle body's messed up. But you can still stop. The brakes don't affect the throttle body.
Would you agree that that's pretty difficult to know just off the
Look at
bat?
that smile.
No.
Would that be fair to say?
No,
No.
it's not difficult.
So it would be pretty easy to tell the make and model and year of a vehicle just by looking at it.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah, in general, most
So it would
cars.
be fair to say if someone had a vehicle right here in front of you, you'd be able to tell just by looking at it for a couple of seconds the make, the model, and the year.
Yeah,
Depending on what vehicle it is.
Most cars, yeah.
Quite likely. I'm decent with vehicles.
What do you mean by decent?
it means decent.
I can recognize many vehicles that are
Yeah.
manufactured. Part of being a police officer is dealing with vehicles. We run a lot of vehicle registration plates. So when you match the registration to a vehicle on a response, you become very well accustomed to the many different vehicles that are manufactured.
Yeah,
Did you at any time see the registration of the vehicle that passed you?
Like I stated previous, I debriefed with Detective Casey during the incident, and he stated that I gave him a registration number, a registration plate for it. I do not
Okay.
recall giving him that
Yeah, I'm just
registration
listening.
plate,
Sorry.
but
Like I'm
Detective
getting in a
Casey
daze
informed me that I
listening.
provided him a correct license plate for that vehicle.
Would it be fair to say that a registration kit would it be fair to say that that automatically links to the make and model and the year of the car?
What?
Would it be fair to say that? That if you ran, or if we're judging by the license plates, if you
What?
were conducting a stop,
Okay.
and to do that you will have to run the license plates.
Look at him. He's
Would it
like,
be
what
fair
the
to say
hell are you
that
asking me?
all that information would come up in your computer when you run the license plate?
Yeah, if the plates aren't
That'd be fair to
stolen.
say?
You had a lot of questions right there. So
Okay, let me back up then. So, if you were
If the
you were
plates belong to
conducting
that
a traffic
vehicle,
stop,
then
Yeah,
yeah,
because
all
they
of it will
match,
come up.
Sure.
and you
But-
pulled up the license plates
Now,
of the vehicle that
pause
you
it.
were stopping,
If somebody came into our apartment complex, took the plates off of our car, put it on their car, and then they got pulled over, the plates would not match up to that car. It wouldn't be a 2009 Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
The cops would know that when they ran the plates. Wait a second, this doesn't
That's
seem
not a
off.
Toyota,
This is
that's
a
a
Ford
Honda
or
or
a
a Ford,
Honda
yeah.
or whatever. What? But anybody knows that. Anybody that's of driving age knows that. Is he seriously asking this question right now? Yeah, your plates are attached to the car. The year, the make, the model, everything.
Well, he's trying to imply that the only reason Officer Schoulten knew the make, model, and year of the car is because he ran his plate. And he's like, I was on foot.
walking.
He was
How
on
could he
foot.
run his plates?
Exactly. He's on foot. He's on foot doing parade duty. He did
So-
not type. He doesn't have a freaking, what is it, Eminem said?
Right,
I got a
Apple-
laptop in my back pocket.
Fucking Apple Watches and Samsung Galaxy Watches, they
Yeah.
can run plates now? Wow, that's technology.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
he
one
ran-
day. I don't know.
He ran your plate with his laptop in his back
Back
pocket.
Or, he
like,
was
what
on
do you-
foot.
Yeah, he was on foot doing parade duty. He didn't have... No. But that's what he's trying to imply. He's going to say
would
it.
the information registered to that vehicle show in your computer?
if the license plate is actually accurate and current to that actual vehicle.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. Yeah. If
Yeah.
it's not stolen or...
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, the information would come up though.
That is correct. It should, as long as the system is working.
And did you have a system or any equipment that could have assisted you in learning the make and the model and year of the vehicle
Right.
at the time of the incident?
No, I was on foot.
I
with
was
no
on
other
foot.
equipment.
I didn't have any equipment.
So is it fair to say that you did not know that information until later
No.
when you were told by...
I knew it when I saw the
I saw
car.
the car because I know something about cars.
No, because like I previously stated, I can recognize vehicles pretty well, and I knew what
Yeah.
approximate. I knew it was a Ford Escape, and I knew the approximate year of it.
You did testify that, and you can also see from the exhibit video that the front end of the vehicle was damaged. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And you can still make out the make and model and year of the vehicle with extensive damage.
That is correct.
Yes.
Could you see the emblem of the vehicle at that point?
I don't know.
You said
I
the
don't
front
recall if I
end.
saw an emblem or not. I know the body style of the vehicle, and I knew it was a Ford
Yeah.
Escape.
Look at the smile. Look at the
Would it
smile.
be fair to say that
I love it.
many SUVs have the same type of body build?
No, it's
No.
not fair to say that, actually.
I'm sure some vehicles do look similar.
Some do, but not all.
So that would it be fair to say that there's a possibility
No.
that you could not make out the make and model and year of the
No,
vehicle,
because I did make it out.
especially with it being extensively damaged to the front?
No, I was confident that it was a Ford Escape.
Yeah, I knew what it was.
Would it be fair to say you're
Notice
really
any tints
stupid,
on that
Darrell?
vehicle?
Sorry. All his, would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say you're really a moron?
Alright, guys. He's about to start talking about tints, and then it's going to go off. And I don't really care about the tinting stuff. It's boring, so we're going to sign off here. Thanks for watching with us. once again, thanks for all the views
on
and-
our past couple videos.
Yeah, the past few videos. That's amazing.
Means the world
And-
to us because we're hoping to do this full time soon.
Yeah. So that's amazing. We're gonna keep putting out videos one way or another. Hopefully the real world stuff is settled down so we can start recording more and putting more stuff out. But like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye guys. Thanks
Bye.
for watching.